We're live. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the BL Express BL Talks. I'm Meta, aka BL Songbird.
And I'm Kristen. You're in review BL and GL.
We're here to introduce and chat today with a director who is also a photographer with a photo book and an artist and an advocate for the LGBTQIA plus community. He's directed Shadow, which was one of my favorites. And right now, he is directing My Golden Blood. We have with us Ark Saroj Kunatanad. Hi.
Yay. I'm very excited. We are going to be talking about quite a few things, but probably a lot about vampires because it's just way too fun to not talk about vampires. And we are going to start with some icebreakers. So I'm going to ask you some like this or that. So you have to pick one of them. You can't pick. Okay. So they are vampire themed. Coffin or canopy bed. Ooh, nice. A castle or a high rise? Would you rather only come out at night or you sparkle in the sun?
That's a good one.
Yes. You don't want to sparkle? It's classic. All right. Bat or black cat? Super strength or like mind control? When I thought about that, I was like, who would want to be strong when you can literally control someone who is strong? All right. Fangs or no fangs? We're going to figure it out.
We're going to figure it out. Can you hear him now?
Yeah. Hello. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, they can hear now. We're good. We're okay. Good. It's happening.
Oh, that was Abby. Yay. Let's give Abby a shout out. Abby's my daughter. Sorry. Thanks, Abby. Okay, we'll get back into it. Okay, would you rather be vampire royalty or a rebel?
A rebel.
Would you rather bite on the neck or on the wrist?
On the neck.
Okay. Do you rather I will protect you vibes or I'm the danger vibe?
I'm the danger vibe.
Ooh. Okay, this one's really important, and I think a lot of people want to know. Are you team Edward or are you team Jacob?
I'm still team Edward.
That's the right answer. If you were turned into a vampire, what would be your special power?
That's very hard. That's very hard because, like, honestly, I think it's not much special power, but like like as we see, right? You see healing. You see like mind control. You see seeing future. You see strength. I don't know. I really don't know. I think maybe like it's kind of like magic, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe like disappearing.
That would be good.
Yes, I like it.
Like invisible, like stuff like that. Yeah.
Yes, you could get into
that would be really fun.
So much mischief.
Yeah.
If you could be eternally one age as a vampire, what age would that be?
One age?
Yeah, if you got stuck, like say you got bit when you were 20 or 30 or 40, like what age would you want to be forever?
Yeah, I think it's forever. Like 30, I think 31, 32, yeah.
Good age.
Yeah.
If you had golden blood, what would it taste like?
I think it would taste like milk mixed with honey.
That's a good one. Okay. I was going to say, I think I'd be coffee.
I kind of love like semi-coffee stuff, like I wish, I wish like my golden blood tastes like milk mixed with honey.
Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, so this is my last icebreaker. This is a game called Bite, Turn, or Stake. So out of Mark, Naken, or Tara, so who would you bite, who would you feed from? Who would you turn to make into your vampire partner? And who would you stake to get rid of them? Out of our 3 vampires that we know of.
This is so unfair because I love these 3 characters. This is unfair. I cannot answer this. I can't answer this. I mean, like, okay, if you want to bite Mark, it's like so obvious. You know, if you want to bite Nagan, it's so obvious as well because he's super sexy. Tara as well. I mean, like Tara is very elegant.
Oh my goodness. I have to
Right?
say, okay, the last episode that we just watched, episode 7, when she was laying there and her eyes opened and they turned gold, I almost fell out of my seat. I was just like, but I was like, she's so gorgeous. Like it
Yeah,
was
you know,
just
like
so intense.
she like I like the actress Kun she's like legend. She's like a legend models. She always looks stunning.
Always. But I'm
Always,
having, yeah,
like no matter you put her in any costume and you ask her to sit in any kind of way, she will have the best posture on any different chairs you put her sitting on or even on the bed. She will just look like perfect.
that doesn't surprise me. I have to tell you, I don't trust her.
Okay, that's fair. I don't trust her either. We have a lack of trust after this episode. This last episode, we're both like,
I've had a few people who have commented because she plays just from her characters in previous shows that I've watched. She's always kind of the bad guy. So I'm like, what if she's the bad guy again? I don't know. I'm like so torn. I'm so stressed about it because I don't know because I love her so much. And I'm like, don't betray us, please, please. But
You
don't
know,
tell me.
I think a lot of the actors agree to be on this show. I think it's because they have a chance to play vampires. Because like I think in a million years it's so rare for a Thai show that you can approach someone to play vampires because they have to do so much homework, understand, and to know how their skill can adapt it to make vampires uh relatable. Yeah,
Very
that's why
important.
I think that's the main key. Like for this show, like when everyone was like, "Oh, am I a vampire?" and then they get so really excited to play vampires.
I'm excited they're playing vampires.
me too.
Okay, so I won't make you answer that question. We'll keep them all unstaked. They all survived that game. So I'm going to pass it over to Mira and she's going to ask you some very in-depth questions.
Very in depth. Oh man, the face.
I'm just kidding.
Anyway, okay, so yeah, we all noticed that you in various interviews and like chats you talked about that you did your college thesis in vampires and that you've had an interest in vampires for a long time. So the first question is, when did you fall in love with vampires?
Uh, I think it came from Interview with the Vampires. Yeah, I was shocked when I first saw that movies. Like, and I felt like it's so subtle and it's so beautiful in a way. And then after that, I start to go deeper into like like Dracula, and I really love like the Francis Ford Coppola version of it. It's so beautiful. And then I start to see like actually vampire story are they are more romance fantasy than like horror.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So then you
Yeah.
start it's so the visual is very beautiful, and the temptation is, and it's very queer too. All the vampire story is so queer, and you felt like, oh wow, like it can only happen in this universe. So
Oh,
that's why
okay,
it's
that
great.
makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really good. Like Interview with the Vampire, like I think 1992 or 1993 version with Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise. It's
Mhm.
amazing, and I think that was the most scariest Tom Cruise role for me.
Yeah.
Playing narcissistic vampires is so scary. Like
I
he's
bet
so
it is.
handsome in that film, but he's so scary. Like you could feel like he can just like
Mm-hmm.
rip you off anytime. Like like it's so much anxiety watching him.
I agree.
Someone in the comments mentioned Interview with a Vampire and then like Anne Rice, the author. So have you read it as well then?
No, I have not read the novel. I have not read the novel, but I watched almost every Anne Rice stuff. So I did watch Queens of the
That's
Dam.
amazing.
I did watch the TV series. Yeah.
the
Have you
new
seen the
interview
modern
with
version of
vampire.
it?
I saw bits of it. I saw like a very first few episode, and I had to stop because like I don't want it to interfere when I'm working on my golden blood.
Oh,
That makes
Yeah, I
sense.
that
did.
makes sense.
Yeah, because like when I'm working on something, I try to tend not to watch something that is very similar to what am I working on at the time. So I probably go back and watch it like soon. And I saw a little I saw a little bit of it, and I think it's very sexual. Like they don't hide
Oh
it anymore.
man.
No.
They don't hide it
No,
anymore.
no, no. It's
Yeah.
very explicitly sexual for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
You maybe answered part of this question, but this might just be a little bit more deep and explicit. So, do you remember the first vampire who made you think, "Oh, this is more than just a monster"?
Oh
Like,
yeah, of
which
course.
vampire
So
was that?
like I told you, it's Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
just
Vampire.
Tom Cruise. His acting of it. Okay, okay, okay,
He's the role itself is so like
okay.
it's so round, you know. The
Yeah.
role itself is so round, and it's yeah. I don't know what happened with that film with Tom Cruise after he become like a superhero Mission Impossible, but that
Yeah.
role is so human and it's so scary at the same time. And
It
that's
was
when I
so
Mhm.
scary.
yeah,
I
that's
remember
when I start
watching
to
it.
realize like, oh my god, vampire is like vampire character is crazy. It's it's got so much human,
Oh yeah.
in the monster, characters.
Your college thesis was on vampires, right? Like we had
Yeah,
that in Sunlight.
they actually two of them. They actually I did it the first one in my bachelor degree. I actually did a short film uh
Oh wow.
called Phorophilia, which is like a vampire disease, and
Hmm.
it's like a short film about a guy, an artist who wants to turn who wants to be who wants to become a vampire. And then my master degree is the like analyzing modern vampire cinema, like 20 of them.
Oh dang. I was like, not going to make you list all 20 of them. That's amazing, though. Did your perspective change while you were writing your master's, like from what it was before, or did it just enhance your perspective?
I think one of the main thing, which is like I using it in my golden blood as well. One of the main thing is that when you have like a cultural code, such as a vampire story, as as time goes by, you can use them and adjust them. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be like the same way.
Oh, that makes sense.
And yeah, so it should be tools, like and now vampires coming back again. Now Sinners is in cinema, and is people raving for it, right? It's kind of like going back to like from dusk till dawn, like when we watched
Hmm.
back in like the 90s. So I
Yeah.
think I think it's coming back because like using the same when you start using the same characteristic and you start adapting to
Hmm.
today, then it's got something new all the time, and then it's related to people because people know this cultural code already, and then it's so fun to work with it.
What's the biggest change you've noticed from the 90s to today?
I think the sexual part is more open now,
Mm.
right? Like I've just seen Nosferatu as well, and I think it's very, very sexual. Like if you're comparing even the story exactly the same as Dracula
Hmm.
in in the latest version was like 92, the Francis Ford Coppola one, and now you see the new Nosferatu, and
Hmm.
it's more it's more poignant on sexual stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's being that's opening up. I feel like in general, culturally, across the globe, that's becoming more accepted. All right, and then the final question that leads this like a little bit more fun. If you could live forever but had to give up love, would you do it?
No.
No. Okay.
No. Really, like what's the point?
Exactly.
That's fair. Absolutely, I would agree. Okay, so we are going to move on now into into a show where they don't have love, because that was something that happened in the iteration of Vampires in My Golden Blood. They don't really feel that kind of emotion. And so the show has unique vibe. The visuals are outstanding. And I feel like even the music is telling a story. Every episode adds a little bit more darkness. And so we're going to move on and talk about My Golden Blood.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. Okay, so we actually had a lot of questions coming in from X that we've kind of incorporated throughout the chat we're going to have. So a lot of people actually mentioned the aesthetic, just how appealing the show is just even visually. We were just wondering, like, what inspired the look and the feel for My Golden Blood?
I think we interpret like today's world, Bangkok, today's world, but we want to still keep the gothic feelings to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's why we choose that house to be Mark house, because it looked like a bat cave.
It does.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the Mark house is look like a bat cave, and even like the as you mentioned, the flower shop, the florist look like a like abandoned buildings, but you just put flowers in there and warm. So
So
it's
good.
kind of it's have a tint of like gothic vintage, and the light, as you can see, the lights a lot of time is very hard lighting, or even like sometimes is like it has some colors. It's a pay homage to like Dario Argento style, like very colorful and high contrast. I think the newer version of like a horror Thai horror drama this day, I don't know what happened. They lit everything up so bright and it's not scary anymore. So we try to bring back, like, like when I watched soap opera when I was young, like when it's a horror film is really scary. We wanna kind of have that feelings into it with nowadays settings. And then the like episode 6, when we go shooting on the beach and you see like a stunning like sceneries. I think that part was more like we want to show that how Mark's point of view seeing the world when he now start to feel, when they see sunset, when they are in the sea, the glossiness of the sea and stuff is it has to be beautiful because it's a point of view of a person who is in love for the first time.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Oh, I think it was episode 1, and I think it was like a night. I don't know if it was a night market or meat market. It was really scary with the kid. Like, I don't know if he was a kid vampire. I don't know, but it was when Tong was trying to get away from
Yeah.
Mark for like the first time. I was like, this is really, really scary. So you played it really well.
I want to add up to this. I saw some comment. I saw like why a lot of time like the Tong meet like two kids already, right? The first episode he saw the kid at the butcher, and then he saw like on episode 6 he saw another kid. He's trying to like getting his blood.
So
And
scary.
I think it's subconsciously, like this is what the writers, how smart the writer is. I was questioning the same thing. Like, I have to give this credit to the writer. Why has to be the kids? And then it's come back to me like, oh, it's because Thong has sympathy for the kid.
Yes.
You know what I
Oh,
mean? Like
yeah, that makes sense.
he's living with kids, with other kids.
Mm,
So people who know, like, if you know his weakness is about children.
yeah. That makes so much sense, obviously. Oh my goodness.
And it does make it a little bit scarier too at the same time, because we know that he's having sympathy for them, and then he's like,
That's
we're
what I'm
like,
saying.
no, don't.
Because you can't hurt them. When Mina did that, like, I'm again almost jumped out of my seat. I was like, no, scary children, please stop. So we have a question from X, and this person is at my bright dripping. It's their handle. So they said creating a vampire story in such a saturated market presents a unique challenge. What were the biggest obstacles and goals in developing a narrative that avoided cliches while emotionally connecting with the audience?
Well, if you really look at the theme, right, this is why the process of writing the script has been so long, as you remember, since we start to have a press conference until when we start before we start shooting, because we fix the script so much, because we need to find the right theme that avoiding cliche. And then at the end of the day, we found the key to this story, which is about human. It's not about vampires. It's not human trying to be vampires. Not, it's about vampires learning to be human again. And I think this is the angle that we start to see. And then that's why the audience, like in the beginning, the audience, a lot of audience didn't understand Mark that well. And he felt like very alienated with Mark characters. And then because of that, you start to realize that as the episode go by, Mark is more becoming more human from his scent. I think this is the key that we avoiding cliche. We try to twist it around and asking question to the audience, like, what if it's a reverse vampire story?
It is always the other way. It's always focused on becoming a vampire and what it's like to be a vampire, not. I love it. No, it's good. So we also had a lot of questions. I think I saw this asked many, many, many times. People were asking about the casting of Joss and Godwin, and we were just wondering, like, what was it about them that made them the perfect Mark and Tong?
I'm not so sure they will release the video because we got the video. Because we have to do a casting video. Maybe the network will releasing it like at the end of the show. You never know, right?
In the box
They
set.
probably just release that casting video, and you will see. It's so obvious.
Yeah.
It's so obvious that they just came in. The script that they use to do the audition is not even in the show because we changed it a lot. So basically when they came in, they haven't even found the characters yet, but the chemistry is already there.
I mean, it seems so obvious I think, because they are perfect.
Yeah, so the magic moment is actually like, I think the best thing is that they're listening to each other performing, and I think I said that all the time. I said when it's real, it's real. It's mean like everyone feeling it. Like in that room of auditioning, we have cameraman, we have a assistant there, and I was there. They did a scene together, and everybody after that, everyone just looking each other, like, holy shit, this is like crazy.
Everybody else go home. We're done here. They're
Yeah,
the
because we did cast many guys before, and then we see like, okay, yeah, this is good, okay, this is all right, this is looking great, but then no one's really nails it like this. This is why when you have a question of like, are they improvising in some of the scene? Like recently I read something and they said like episode 6 and 7 have some improvisation and people going crazy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
and
a little
and
bit.
They are going
and
crazy.
no, but then but then for me, like when I read this, when we read the script and we're working on it together, sometimes it's not like you point out that actually this can improvise or not. Sometimes I think is their instinct to transitioning the scene. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's
Mhm.
some space, there's some in between line, there's some space in the script that open for them to transitioning emotion into a different dialogue or going into a different scene or how to end the scene. And I think that part is when they start to improvise.
Mhm.
I think it's beautiful because like when you trust each other that much, I think that's another thing as well we found. They trust each other immediately in the audition to let one person lead or to let the other person lead at the same time.
Hmm.
I think that trust is very important because these two they met they trust each other immediately, and then they continue trusting each other the whole process.
Was you made Joss look absolutely ethereal. Was that a stylistic nod to like vampire elegance, or were you just leaning into how stunning he is?
Well, I think the first thing you have to really look at his face, because his face is very vampiristic,
Yeah.
It is,
right?
yeah.
I think we saw that in the fitting process when he put him into an outfit, and then you can feel like he he looked very cold, like when he put on like a very elegant clothing. That's why he looks so
Mhm.
good in suits,
Mhm.
because it doesn't give the vibe of rich. It's give the vibe of cold, like very angular, very formal, and very, yeah. I think the very cold thing is like because his eyes and everything is look very cold, but that's why it works, because like when he starts to get warmer, you can see like, oh, you didn't expect it, that person would be so sweet.
Yes.
You
Well,
know
the
what
way
I
he
mean?
looks, like I find like you capture it so perfectly the way he looks at Tong and how that's changed is just so
Mhm.
beautiful. And yeah, I love it. So the next thing we were going to
There's-
talk about was a little bit more about the characters and the themes and the emotional arcs. But I do have a very important question, and this is my own personal question before we get into that. So I need you to give me on a scale of like 1 to 10, and keep in mind that I've cried many times watching the show already to this point. But on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you think I'm going to cry by the end of this series?
I think you will cry at 10. You will cry. You will
10,
have like
no.
you will have a full on crying, because there's some particular scene. Even when I was directed it, I cry too.
Really?
Even when
Oh no, not that.
even when I edit it, I cry as well. I
Oh
was like, oh
God.
my god, this is so good.
That's
It's
really fun though.
That
yeah,
actually sent fear into me. I'm like, no. Okay.
it's so good. I don't. Yeah, it's I cannot say much, but it's like it's yeah. Whatever you see until now,
We have a lot
it's
of oh no's
yeah, it's gonna hit.
in
It's
the
gonna hit the
chat.
fan.
They're like,
It's
oh
gonna hit
no.
the fan.
So we'll send our emotional damage letters directly to you. We're like, how dare you do this?
Okay.
I know that people hate me for Shadow to end like that.
Hate you. No, no, that was fantastic. So good.
I got a message until
We just
today.
want a season 2. That's all. You just have to make a season 2. You were mentioning the cold suit, and I just realized I haven't seen him in a suit in a second. Was that deliberate too then, to like changing him out of the suit, so that kind of loosened the vibe a little bit for
Yes,
Mark?
because he start to attracted to Tong, right?
Ah, okay.
So he start to get more casual.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, so Tom and Mark's relationship, it blends the danger, the attraction, tenderness. We started talking about a little bit about their casting. How did you build the dynamic with the actors after that to kind of create that blend?
Actually, I think this is a credit to them. Is that they start to get really close to each other by hanging out with each other every day. They did it.
Mhm.
They did it themselves. They go to the gym together. They practice basketball together, and that's what I said. I think they really need trust in each other, so then they
Mhm.
understand that it's almost like they make a commitment of like, okay, we're gonna make this work, and we're not gonna feel awkward on set. So we need to really know each other very well,
That
and
makes sense.
they work on it a lot. They work on it very very hard, and at the end of the day, they become best friends.
Seems like it, yeah. See all sorts of basketball videos floating around out there. Mark Sensory Experience is coming alive. What considerations did you make when pulling that all together to make his sensory experience come to life?
As you can see, is like it's like the first thing is like the first episode is kind of like a sexual awakening, right? From
Yes.
tasting the blood. The second episode is like the smell, and then the taste, right? So then we play with that simple human senses. So it's developing, bits by bits by bits. So I think it's more like because we I think it's like it's human basic, right? We taste the world, we see the world, we touch,
Mhm.
like the episode 7. I think a lot of this is why you can see, like, when they have a love scene, they're very touchy, because Mark, like, touching now, he felt it. He felt the
Mhm.
warmth, felt the touch. That's
Mhm.
why there's a lot of hand gesture. That's how we try to visualize senses in the image, and the character's development.
Is there a reason for the order of the senses developing?
I think it came. I think it just came from. I think it just came from the, like, the scale, right? The degree. So to get closer and closer and closer. But the first episode is kind of like a chemical hit first. That's why it's the strongest one to open.
Yeah.
Basically, it's kind of like an open your third eye kind of like event. that,
It did seem
that,
that way, yeah.
that one drop. Yeah, yeah.
We have a pulled question from
Yes.
X.
Actually, first we do have a request from the chat for your cat's name. I don't know if you know
Oh,
your
that's at the back. I didn't know that cats love flowers.
Yes. He's been very, very sweet, but they would love to know your cat's name.
His name is Moses.
Oh, he's very
Aw. Very cute.
cute. Okay. I was like, we got to address that. It's very important that Moses gets its attention. Okay, so this is a question from Stay DRM. And they asked, what did you find most exciting about blending a dark vampire world with real human emotions?
I think we are the same, though.
Yeah.
Right? I think we are the same, and I think the we can just exaggerate it a little bit. That's, I think, the charm of vampire story, as we can exaggerate it, human emotion a little bit. And I was just saying to Josh the other day that I think the storyline is a little bit surreal, and I've heard some of the review, they're calling it a little bit campy.
Mm.
And I think it's actually a good way as well, because if you look at it, I really like classic literature, but then when you put a twist onto it, or you balancing it very well, it can be very, very subtle and very relatable. And I think it makes between the way of how they act as well. I think the acting in this series is not over the top, when the story is a little bit over the top, and it's mixed it so well that it it's a right ingredients for it. And that's why when you start exaggerating human emotion into a vampire characters, it it remind us something, that we can have this emotion as well. Sometimes we lost it, or sometimes we didn't look into it. Like, it's like, even for me, like, I felt like I used to be a romantic person, and then I started to bury it down, like, at some point. And then this show remind me of, like, oh, actually, this is who I was, and actually maybe I still am. To see the world in a certain way, to have this sweet love, and to felt like this, because, like, when you directed it, you have to feel it. You have to feel it, that you have that in you, to know that this is the right moment. And I
Mhm.
think that is, like, waking me up a little bit watching this show, like, oh, I still got that in me, the exaggeration of romanticism, or about being in love and stuff like that. I think this is a good thing about vampire story. It can exaggerate emotions and make you see about life and death and love, and lust, whatever it is, it desires.
There's that
Am I
slight
answering the
disconnect that
question?
makes it less real.
Yeah.
This question was from at Wool YNQS. The pacing and the emotional beats in My Golden Blood feels very important. Could you share a bit about your process in shaping the narrative during post production?
I think there's a lot of things going on sometime in one episode. And I think that's a good part of it, because like if you such as episode 6 is a very good example that you have almost every genre into one episode from romantic comedy to horror to like pure romance. So I think the pacing, it's just we don't want you to predict it what's going to happen. And I think the
Yeah.
pacing fast, and it's very, I don't know, it's concentrate into its own part. It doesn't want to be a certain thing on
Mhm.
each episode. And I think that's the way the show is a little bit, because they are mix of genre anyway, so like
Mhm.
it's kind of nice to like teasing the audience to not knowing, not knowing like what is the next scene going to be.
Very
We
much
were
like that.
actually talking about that.
We
We
were.
were talking about exactly that. I was like, it's almost like a vampire. Like the story itself is a vampire teasing the audience, stalking
Yeah.
them, if you will, which is kind of entertaining. And we were both saying we had no idea what's going to happen next, and both of us are pretty good at predicting. So
Yeah.
we're like, what is happening? We don't know. This is awesome.
Makes me stressed out.
Oh my goodness. So
In a good
stressed
way.
out.
It's a good stress because I'm like, oh my God, anything can happen.
You're right. We just don't know. Oh my gosh.
So, was there a scene that gave you goosebumps or that you felt really captured the heart of the story that you can tell us?
Okay, I can only talk about the scene as we already aired. I really love the scene in the rain after they kiss.
Yes.
Yeah, that is actually the theme of the movies. It's the theme of the series. Is it love or it's chemical?
It was so good.
That scene. Yeah, that scene is like the main theme. Totally. Like, okay, these two falling in love, but is it real? Is it
Yeah.
chemical?
Oh,
Are
that's
we
a good question.
misunderstood? Like that. That's the theme, and I think that's captured very well from all the confusion on both sides. Yeah, I
Really,
like that
yeah.
scene. I really like that scene. Yeah.
It was a very good scene. I remember how I felt watching that scene. I was like slightly mad, but then I was like, because I was like, that was his first kiss. And I'm like, you're not. But then I was like, but I understand what you mean, Mark.
It's almost like a dark comedy. Like it's almost like is is it romantic, or is it like satire, or is it playing with your
Right.
emotion? Why Mark is so stupid? Like you have in that head, you have in your mind, but then at the end you
Mhm.
understand both of them, that they stand from a different point and they're both confused. You know?
It was so good. It was so good.
Yeah.
Were there any
Yeah.
challenges when you were shooting like action and supernatural scenes? Like, did you find that hard?
Action is not. I think action is not hard. We just need to have the stunt director. We have the stunt director to
Yeah.
help us choreograph the action. But the scene that is hard is the supernatural part, because like when you take the scene from the text, you have to interpret it into a tone, such as, like, I think the very obvious scene is the scene in episode 1 when Mark tasted the blood,
Mhm.
because people looking at it like it's very sexual, because we interpret it
Yeah.
in that way. We have to interpret it in that way, because it's about his first sexual awakening.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Because like sometimes the text just written so simply that Mark tastes the blood and he felt explosion in his body. Imagining that was only the sentence. Then we have to
Oh,
come up with like, oh, how he tastes the blood. What is his reaction? And then you carry
mhm.
on like to show the resistance and how he felt and how he can lose control. And that whole scene is reinterpreted into like a sexual context.
Wow.
Makes sense, actually.
Yeah. I love how you answer our questions, and I'm like, yes. It all makes sense. Of course, it makes sense.
And this is,
Oh,
like, when you open the show with that kind of scene and you're talking about a sexual awakening of a vampires, like And this is the problem. Like, not the problem, but like I saw so many comment like, why am I cutting at the end of the episode and make you felt like something gonna happen sexually?
Mhm.
Like kiss and
Every
then cut,
time.
right? Because like I think it's more it's because I think that was the most important part of Mark experience.
Mhm.
Like you need to understand that when you cut and the next episode continue, we always go back a little bit and then we explain, because like
I love that.
I think is how Mark processing his feelings, because like we have to end it there, because it's the most important part of the story is his sexual awakening in each development gone by.
Hmm.
And I think that was the most hook part of the show as well, when you start to question this guy relationship, and then
Mhm.
when something happened, like at the end of 7, it has to stop there, because like of course we want you to watch the next episode, but then we have to show that, because the big part of what happened later is really big.
Oof.
Okay.
Like the kiss on episode 4 as well. The big part of happen later is really big. It's almost like the theme of episode
Yeah.
5.
Yeah.
Oh
If
man.
like if I show them and then they stop the kiss and they got confused, and the end of episode 4, people are gonna get confused.
Yeah.
It's the theme of
It's
episode
true.
5. You have to stop there, and then you have to show like, okay, this is the theme of episode 5. They're gonna get confused the whole time.
I think at the episode 7 I actually screamed. What? I was like, this is not the end of the episode, is it? But
Of course, it's
yes,
not the end. Of course, it's not the end. It's just end of that episode, but it's not the end of that event. You have to watch episode
Right?
8.
which I will. I mean, I think that's the funny thing. Like, you have us all like, but in a chokehold. I'm pretty sure. Like, everybody's just like, why is it not Wednesday? When is it Wednesday?
I love the picture of like the person stepping over a bunch of stairs to get to next week already. It's like, let's just skip the whole week.
It's Wednesday.
Who needs this week anyway?
Nobody.
Oh my goodness. All right. So we have another question from X. We have at mini MW69. Are there any specific scenes in My Golden Blood that you found particularly challenging or rewarding to direct? Could you share some insights into your approach to those moments?
But here's the thing: like the scene that I like a lot is not airing yet. I can't talk about it yet.
An
Okay.
episode. Like, let us know what episode, so that when we get to that episode, we'll be like, okay, something's gonna happen.
Maybe,
Well, I mean, obviously,
No,
maybe
I think
then your
11 and
favorite
12.
episode then? 11? Episode 11?
11 and 12.
And 12. Okay, your favorite episode.
When you when you ask when you ask me like, what scale am I going to cry?
Oh, it's those episodes. Okay. Good to know.
It's so dramatic. It's so good. So
I
basically,
love
like that was
dramatic.
really rewarding. Like the around that episode is like, it's yeah, that's when the magic moment happened as well. That's when you are like,
Awesome.
it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
So
The
cool.
acting is unbelievable.
I'm excited.
Oh,
I love
Yeah,
a good cry.
but if you go back to other scenes that I like,
mhm.
I really like
The challenging or rewarding. So challenging scenes.
no, the most challenging scene is that sunset on the jet
Oh, was
ski.
that really?
Yes, time.
We
would be
we are
hard.
lucky. It's no CGI. We are so lucky that day that the sky is clear and the sun is that big. That actually real sun.
Wow.
Oh, dang. That's amazing.
We actually waited 2 days. Like the first day we waited, it's cloudy, so we shot like some close up scene first to just have it in case
Mhm.
we don't have anything, and then the next day it just happened. And then
Wow.
we were just like, just go for it, like, and then we just did it. And when people say like, oh, when they go to the jet ski in the middle of the sea is improvising,
Mhm.
it's actually improvising because we don't have time. We
Yeah.
have to go.
You guys
we have
had
to
capture
we have
this.
to we have to tell them we have to stop here, right here, and say the line,
Mhm.
so we get the wide shot, and then we shot the close up later. The close up is fine.
Mm.
We can decorate it a light. but then to get the
It's
wide shot
true.
to ride a jet ski in a certain spot, it's so it's I mean like they are really good. Because like Josh know how to ride a jet ski very well. So like so it's
Oh, that's good. I didn't imagine it. Like, it's kind of fun getting a little peek into the editing process and like, oh, you can add that later. That's not a big deal because like we don't think about those things as the general audience. We're like, what do you add later? What can you just capture? Like a CGI sunset, for example. I would have never thought of like CGIing a sunset if you couldn't capture it in real time. So that's an
yeah, but that's the
interesting.
thing. Like you can fix the close up because you don't see the source of the light, right? You
That
can
Yeah.
makes
like you can,
sense.
yeah,
Yeah,
but in a wide shot you cannot. Like it's gonna look so fake if it's a CGI sun.
Well, it was
that makes
beautiful.
sense.
Yeah, but that is the most
Bravo.
rewarding scene. That's the most rewarding scene. It's like it's so good. I actually never shot any sunset like that. Like
Oh
never.
man.
That's very good.
Well, it was really beautiful. Can you tell us about some of the improvisations that you did fall in love with? Were there any particular improvisations that the actors did that you fell in love with?
Yeah, I can only say it's on the 12th episode.
Okay.
We have so much to look forward to.
We really do. We're so excited. We're like, okay, just Wednesday, Wednesday, Wednesday. All the Wednesdays in a row. We don't need any
It
other
won't be sad.
days.
I always get sad when it's over.
That
So I'm like,
okay, what can I say with that improvise is like it's like yeah, it's so unexpected, but it's so right. Unexpected and right, and it's just fit perfectly well in the scene, and it's beautiful.
I'm gonna have to like guess what the improv is when the time comes. Okay, so a little bit more on the like the locale in both the series Shadow and Golden Blood, like they're mesmerizing, right? We're talking about the beach and the sunset and like the various dark shadows and like the lake and the kind of the pine tree vibe in Shadow. Do you
Yeah.
purposely choose such locations or is there like just highlighting what is available to you?
No. We choose the location. We look at so many lake, and then we were like, where should we do it? And then we found this pine trees and the lake, and then we just like it's a bit far from Bangkok, but we're still choosing it
Mhm.
because it's give the vibe of like I don't know. I'm not sure like actually Shadow is inspired by Twin Peaks. It's like a lot of Shadow's element is from Twin Peaks.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I did
so
not know that.
that's been chosen on purpose to look like Twin Peaks.
mm.
To look-
Good to know. Good to know. Okay, so how many beaches did you go through to find the right beach then?
oh yeah, there's a lot of beaches as well. Because like the key is that the hotel has to look like a properties from Mark's family.
Yeah.
So we have to look
Yeah,
for
wouldn't it?
we'll have to look for the resort that looks like is looking great. Not just the
Mhm.
beaches, not just the building. It has to look suitable
Everything.
for Mark. Yeah.
That makes sense
Very,
too.
very cool. Were there any moments where the cast made you really laugh on set or like a scene that was supposed to be serious, but you guys just couldn't keep it together?
I think it's more like I think it's more like how both of them are actually almost the same height, and then Mark has to carry thongs all the time. you know
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
so
I could,
you would imagine like Mark carry thong, and then when we say cut, and then Josh like, oh my god, it's cannot carry Kevin.
Like dropping him or something.
But he always can do it. He always can do it. You know what I mean? But then we laugh so much that, oh my god, that they because I don't know what happened in the camera make Kevin look so small, but like in real life they look exactly almost the same height.
that
and
is
That
so
was
and
like
funny.
you
funny though. I was
and you were
going
like,
to mention that. I was like on
and
the camera, you've made Gawain look small.
yeah, but then in real life
Oh,
they actually the same height. And then you were like, this is like
it's amazing.
two guys together. It's they
Oh.
they were saying like this, like when you look at them in the real life scale, they look like two gigantic golden retriever.
Yeah.
You know, two gigantic
Yeah.
golden retriever, and sometimes in some certain space, it didn't it didn't fit them because they're so tall.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy.
So like
We
so
be
like
thinking about that now.
a very funny example when we go to some certain location in some places and we do a blocking, and then when they came in doing the blocking, we need extra 5 minutes to adjusting the light because they are so tall and so big. We have to move the light a little bit. We have to like extend it a little
Oh
bit.
my goodness.
That is so
And
good.
it's funny because when you're watching the series, they don't look tall. Either of them, like, I don't know if it's because there's just nothing around them to like show the height difference extremely, but they don't seem both like giants in the series.
Yeah, and that's another thing we have to think about the scale as well, because like
Yeah.
we cannot choose somewhere that is very low ceiling or anything, because like we have to think about how tall they are.
Mm. That's a challenge right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. There was another question from someone named at Tower of Chaos. So I'm going to kind of combine two questions together. So a lot of people noticed a lot of references to other vampire movies or series, or specifically quotes from love stories like Pride and Prejudice and Shakespeare. So they were wondering, one, what is your favorite vampire movie or series? Which we did hear that earlier was Interview with a Vampire. But also, what is just your favorite love story or movie?
Okay, my favorite love story. Actually, my favorite love story is Pride and Prejudice. I really like it a lot. I have a friend. I have a friend that we decided to watch Pride and Prejudice once a year.
Which
Oh,
version?
No,
yeah.
Kira
Which
Knightley
one?
version.
Okay. Cute.
Yeah,
Love
Kira
it.
Knightley version. Yeah, really, really. But actually, I watched Colin Firth version as well, the TV series one.
Classic.
That's
Yeah,
probably
and
my favorite.
that one is really good as well. That one is
They're
very, very.
so good. I have to say that scene, like when they were reading those lines, I feel like I melted into the floor. It was just such a like, because I love Pride and Prejudice. Like it was just so like,
Oh,
it was like an arrow in my heart. I don't know how I felt. It was just so beautiful.
And my favorite movie is very funny. My favorite movie is Moulin Rouge.
oh,
So
dang.
good.
So good. I know all the music.
This is why this is why people say like my direction is very campy. Of course, it's campy. I love I
Moulin
love
Rouge.
Moulin Rouge.
It's literally all making sense now. So
Oh my
like,
goodness.
I get it. I get it.
But still, that movie's great.
Yeah.
So, what kind of legacy do you hope My Golden Blood will have within the BL and vampire community?
I felt like it should be it should be one of the vampires film that people mentioning it in the future when Thai TV series or Thai soap or Thai movie talking about vampires. For me, how can I make this vampire show feel as real as possible in a hot weather country and
Oh,
relatable?
yeah.
Like because I don't want to put vampire in a long coat in
Yeah.
in the weather of Bangkok. How can we make it work? How can we believe? How can we make people believe that Mark is a vampire? I think that's a key part of the whole visual and the whole approach to this. Like, we need to make people believe that he is a vampire in Bangkok. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. That makes sense. Speaking to the bigger world of the boys' love in general, do you have any hopes for the genre, for where it will go from here and what it'll
Yeah.
become?
The whole I think it's gonna kick off. You're gonna have like so many like monsters, love, crossover, supernatural, more and more. Like we already have it. We already
Hmm.
have like Enigma. We already have
It's
so
true.
many. Yeah, we already have so many of this, and I think it's open up. It's opening up for new themes to explore.
I'm excited about the themes. It's like definitely I see the explosion coming. It's already started and like it's just gonna keep
Yeah.
going. I have a feeling. It's really cool. We'll just wrap it up with the best question, and that's about your future. What do you have any projects that you can share that are coming up?
We are working on the allure of the sirens.
Yes.
We are finding trying to gather the funding at the moment and the network and stuff. So we are working on it. I know that the writer Chanel is already written treatment. I think soon we're gonna start looking at how to adapt it into like a TV series episodes. Yeah,
Oh, we're getting closer. That's exciting.
and
That's huge.
that's also a bit dark.
I
The
love
theme
it.
is also a little bit dark. Yeah.
You
Not
love
gonna
Dark,
lie.
Kristen?
I do. And people are always like, you? I'm like, no, seriously. Like, mess me up in my head and make me cry. It sounds-
I'm just like
No,
one toxic
seriously.
series at a time, please. That's it.
I want it all. Like, I want to be a wreck.
I want to thank you so much for joining us today. This has been like an awesome experience. Let's spread the word about this series all over. Don't forget to watch My Golden Blood over here in the States. It's on Wednesdays in the mornings if you want to catch the premiere.
Can I add one thing?
Yeah,
So,
sure.
so if you
Absolutely.
watch if you watch online and you watch live on GMM TV, it's gonna be quite short because the time slot is 45 minutes, and some of the
Dang.
scene has to be cut down from the censorship board. So when you watch it online on IG on Gaga Ulala, you watch the whole thing.
So I'm missing parts?
No. If you watch on YouTube on GMM TV, not live, it's full. But if you watch live on GMM TV, when it's live, like some
Okay.
people they watch from
On the
a
TV.
on TV online, like they open GMM TV online to watch it. If it's airing at the same time as in Thailand, you will watch the shorter version because we have to cut some of them for the censorship.
Like, my heart literally stopped. I was like, what have I been doing with my life? I need to go watch it all from the beginning.
No. You
You're
watch
safe.
you watch the right version.
But like full
So basically,
panic. I had a full body panic. I'm okay.
the full version is
Mhm.
longer and it's on the application.
Is it better for you in the show if we watch on certain platforms, like, or is
That's
it
a
just
good
wherever
question.
it's
Well,
available? You want to support is fine.
it doesn't matter because like
Okay.
on the legal platform
Yes, I always say
is
stream legally.
also great. Like you can watch on IG, you can watch on Gaga, Ulala. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Because like I said, I watch it on YouTube, but I do know, like, I've watched parts on the apps too. So I was like, I just never really know what is the most beneficial for you.
No, but
as-
on YouTube it's also from GMM TV too. So
Okay.
we just
We're
have
good.
three ways to watch it. It's just that some region of YouTube is not available because they sell the rights to the
Yes.
application. That's why.
So wherever you
okay.
are, stream legally, please. Please.
Yeah.
Stream it legally.
Please stream
Absolutely.
legally because like it's gonna be better quality and
Yes. You don't want to watch it in 720p or 310.
Oh,
You
4K.
don't
Let's
want
go.
that. Horrible.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
oh, you're welcome. You're
joining
welcome.
us.
Thank you very much too. This is fun.
Thank you. Yes,
It
I
was
have to say
fun.
I'm a huge fan. This show, I'm obsessed. I'm not
And
gonna
I'm
lie.
kind of obsessed with your other work too, because I watched Shadow too, and that was also amazing. So I'm excited for Lure of the Siren. I'm like, yes, let's do it.
Is there anything that fans can do to help hype up Allure of the Siren or support you guys? Like, I don't know, tweet. Do we even say tweeting anymore? I'm so old. I don't know.
I think so. I think we still use tweeting, even though
Okay.
it's changed. We're like rebels.
Well, just show some love. Just show some love. Watching the trailer again, or repost it about it again, or you can analyzing the scenes. Like some people love analyzing the scenes, screenshot it, analyzing the scene. Whatever to just hype it up. yeah, I think for the allure of the siren is very challenging because it's talking about something very dark in like the like red light district, and
Mm-hmm.
it's set in Bangkok. And I think that was a challenging part. That how can we pull this off to be in a very good light? How
Oh,
can
I'm
we pull it
excited.
off? Yeah, so that's why I think I'm really excited for this to make it work.
Well, thank you again.
I'm excited to see.
Everybody, go support all of his works
Thank you
legally.
very
Absolutely.
much.
Guess we could just say bye.
I think we're like leaving. We're getting ready to leave now, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna like end the live. We're ending the live,
Bye,
guys.
friends.
Bye, everybody. Have a
Follow us
great
on
evening.
YouTube.
Enjoy your time. Like, subscribe. I'm gonna end. Okay, we're out.